1 week passed by.
It's true. So quickly.
Probably, I would say if we assume like 7 days already passed, that's quickly. But if I just right now I'm just looking at all of these 7 days, one of the longest week I guess for me for during the last 2 months. I don't know. It was, I would say, too sophisticated.
Vika?
Hello.
Hi, Vika.
Hello, Irina. Hello. Misha. Good morning.
Alright, guys, so I need to leave at 7, so just in an hour, so let's try to do it quickly and let's focus on our our topics from the student book. How are you, Vika? Until I'm looking for our topic. So,
Yeah.
how are you?
Yeah.
How was Tashkent?
Did you? Oh.
No. How is Tashkent?
Bishkek.
It's not Tashkent.
Bishkek.
Bishkek.
Sorry. I'm mixing up.
Bishkek is really good. It's 35 today, and tomorrow it will be 37. So it's hot. A lot of fruits. They're really tasty.
Survive?
Yeah.
Have an air
I like
conditioner?
hot weather.
Oh.
I was born in Uzbekistan. It was 44, 45, so it's okay for me.
Oh. Yeah. No, I can't stand heat. I couldn't survive in Turkey. Yeah. When we moved here in the UK, it's just a relief because the summer, well, there are heat waves, but in general, summer is not so hot. That's why people from California, our colleagues, they just hate to travel to the UK. But for me, it's just fine. It's perfect weather.
Yeah. 2 days ago, it was like 26, 27, and it was a little rain, and I was cold. I told everybody, I have some friends here, not friends, like acquaintances, and I told, oh my God, what's happened with the weather? I wanted hot summer, but it's just 26, 27, and it's cold for me. And they were laughing at me because it is good weather to them because they're tired from hot weather because it longs all summer a little bit. It takes September, May, and a little bit October. It is hot weather here.
Gosh. No, not my climate. Okay. Sorry about that.
Are you eating?
I'm just
Poor
running
Irina.
around. Yeah, I just finished
Bon appetit.
work. And need to. Sorry.
Bon appetit.
Thank you. All right. So let me share my screen.
And usually if you want to say that something starts from one and goes the next several weeks, we will say it not longs, it's usually it lasts.
It lasts.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Irina.
No, that's right.
It lasts. I see. Thank you.
File page, reading.
Still our first page, yeah.
My groups.
This is one of the most sophisticated page.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Do you have this student book on your laptops or somewhere so we can maybe read separately?
I can read. from here.
I mean, Irina asks, do you have this page 185, 186? Did you download?
Yeah, I mean they're on different pages, and then we should discuss 3 different cities, I assume.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, if that's the same thing, did somebody uploaded, right? It before it should.
Yeah. It's in Telegram.
It should be somewhere up in the previous message.
I think it's even pinned. Yeah, it's pinned in the channel.
There are no. I see. Outcomes. Which one is it? Outcomes. Advanced.
So
Yeah.
advanced SB student book. I think
book.
they so let me.
So there's
resend it.
SB and WB. Which one is which, right?
SB or double B?
I guess SB is
SD.
it should be like a student book, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
W, I'm not really sure what
It's workbook, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what page do we need?
180. Let's do this way. So you take 185. Mike take 186. I'll take 197.
So what should we do with the 185, 186?
Just first is so you're going to read about the city, how it was affected by one or more of problems in exercise 1. Find out what happened. Oh, well, just read and check what happened with those cities.
So because 185, mine is 186, right?
Right.
Yeah. Should we read inside? How can I say про себя? Читать про себя.
Out loud or
Out loud?
не знаю.
Silently.
Yeah, okay. You make it easier. So,
Yeah, let's read it silently and then discuss what's related to. All right. Let me know when you're ready to discuss. I'm here.
Mhm. We can start from somebody else. I'm not ready.
Okay.
A lot of new words for me.
I have few of them, but I think it's fine.
I wouldn't say that I have a lot of words, but I have at least 3 of words which I have never seen before. And something tells me I will never see them after our meeting.
Yeah, maybe.
Does anyone have an idea what does it slum mean? Like SLUM.
Трущобы.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to Brazil, you will need this word.
Fortunately, I'm not in Brazil. So probably, if you know this word, you should know other 2 words. Affluent.
Affluent.
Affluent, maybe.
Mm-hmm. I think it was somewhere here. I heard this word before. It's like 100% affluent. Yeah.
Affluent. Oh, it's a double F. Yeah, the stress on the first syllable. Oh no, there's 2 options. First syllable and second syllable. Affluent and affluent.
Affluent.
2 options as usual. I guess maybe
Okay.
for the first syllable probably it's American one. The second one should be probably British one. Having abundance of goods or riches. Wealthy. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Let's start discussion. Vika, are you done with the text? All right. Then waiting for it.
Let's start from Misha. He's ready.
I mean, with the Bogota or the Bogota.
The person from do the following: compare what you understood and what you think of the story. Discuss what you learned about the city. Check your understand the phrases in bold and try to remember them. Okay, let's just discuss the story and what you learned about the city.
Yeah, maybe start with some bolded words. I mean, there should be some kind of emphasis on them.
Then yours is 186, right?
Yeah, 186 about Bogota or Bogota. I'm not sure.
86.
I know that in different people put stress differently. I see
So, okay, let's start with large-scale reforms.
That's easy.
So I guess the reforms that
Крупномасштабные.
includes a lot of they include a lot of changes around the city. Clear a large slum. So slum is трущоба. So they just destroyed some unwealthy areas of the city.
Yeah,
I guess.
Barrier.
One of the facilities to clear with large public space. Oh yeah, makes sense. Created a barrier. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Expropriated the land also.
So,
Tackle the congestion. Tackle как бы разрулить, насколько я понимаю. Более-менее такое слово.
Taco conjunction. Oh, is it about 15-minute city conception? No. So
15
yeah,
minutes-
I think they
15 minutes
kind
what?
of. Huh?
15 minutes
15-minute city. So I heard it was it's a conception of the city when all you need is around 15 minutes walk or drive, but preferably bicycle, not by car. So I'm just asking because I discussed this topic with my group of English ones. So yeah, tackle conjunctions, как бы справиться с заторами, с пробками. Process, obvious.
Impose restrictions.
Post
наложить ограничения.
restrictions.
Ну, наложить ограничения, так понимаю.
I think yes. So
Pour
get
money
some
into,
restrictions.
вливать деньги в,
Put money into, yes. Increase
increase in enrollment.
enrollment. Increase.
Increase это вообще
huge increase.
любое повышение. Enrollment это обычно, когда кто-то куда-то поступает, либо в институт, либо в армию. Например, здесь enrollment это призыв на воинскую службу.
Oh, really?
Enroll. If you enroll, you usually enroll in
Enrollment is
the
called
army or
attendance.
any military service. Ну и также enroll to the school, to the... В Америке нет
school,
такого, что
yeah,
у нас,
I think-
у нас все называется
I
здесь
think, yes.
school. So everything that we hear is school. There's no difference between the regular high school and the university. University also a high, I mean also a school.
Increase in school attendance. So yeah, so I think yes, that means not it's not military enrollment. It's like yeah,
Yeah, here it's mostly.
pupils.
We don't even use pupils. We use only students.
Oh, students. Okay.
You know, when I see this word pupils, we have only one mention of pupils. Pupils, it's usually you can see it only once when you see the special van. You know, van is like a car with the 6-7 seats, and you see the pupils. It means like a kind of children which is exactly in the car. But when they're in the school or in the kindergarten, they don't call themselves pupils. They are students. So that's amazing how they differ the word meaning pupils versus students. Escape criticism. Ну да, избегать
Escape
критики.
criticism. Also obvious and yeah, familiar to Russian.
For me, it was more interesting.
Okay.
Affluent north and deprived south. That was more in the second chapter. Just the one lane below the created barrier.
Definitely more deprivated south of the city. And so it seems to be always the same. The north is more wealthy and affluent comparing to the south part, because here it's also the same. Okay, let's guess what's where. What you learned about the city?
Me technically, I have no idea what is a Bogota/Bogota. It's it's Colombia capital. I don't know how big is it, how large. I probably should open the Google Maps to find out how. I mean, what is it? I know like some cities like Kiev, Moscow, Boston, New York, New Jersey, Trenton, or whatever, Pennsylvania, Philly. But about this size, I have no idea, and I know how their slums looks like and how huge they are. But yeah, I see there's a kind of reforms, as they told us, large-scale reforms. So I don't really. So probably they want to what? They want to make it less chaotic. Try to find out organized traffic. Probably, I would say it's not organizing traffic. It looks like they're trying to. Let's see. They want to put all these guys on the cars out of the road, out of the city. It's the same what I saw in Moscow and what I'm seeing right now what is going on in Boston. They I wouldn't call it like something kind of positive change. I don't really like it. I mean, even though they say blah blah blah, we want to make more pedestrian, I don't know, like pedestrian zones or bicycle zones or whatever. I mean, you are killing the trade. You are killing the, all the, shipment stuff in the, I guess, in Bogota, and the same in Boston, what I see right now. So, I mean, usually the lane for 2-3 meters is enough for the bicycle. We don't really need to give them 3 lanes instead of like 3 from 5. 1 is more than enough. I mean, but who cares if they give them 2-3 lanes, but they still going on the regular roads and they trying to, to violate the rules. They don't really react on the red lights. They do whatever they want to do. I mean, so the policemen, they just give us penalties for red lights, but they 100% ignore, and I would say they...
Cyclists. Yeah,
Yes.
I think it sounds here because cyclists just run their way.
Yeah, sometimes I'm just, I wouldn't say...
So they just scared me. They just drive with this, I don't know, quite huge speed, and especially when there is a one-way road, I just look for the cars to one way, but bicycles are going both ways, and they just scared me so many times.
Especially today, when they have this electric possibility. Like last 2 years, I see these electric
Right.
bikes. They go 2 times faster than regular. I don't know what.
All right. So, was it affected by some of those? What is it? Concerns, things. I assume that there was a huge crime rate since there were slums, or not.
Yeah, probably if they would like to get rid of the crimes, this is one of the good movements, changes. About tackle the congestion, you're not tackling it. You just eliminate the traffic. You just take all the cars out of the city. That's it. It looks like I can say, I don't know what. Look, I would like to clear my apartment, and I pour the concrete all over the apartment. So there's no apartment anymore because it's concrete all over the room. So no space, no trash. It's also obvious. So they're not solving the problem. They just eliminate it.
So I don't really see.
So it looks like
any
it's
of
better
those.
not to cure kids, but it's better not to give them birth. I would say that way. If you wanna stop, child deaths, don't give them birth. But this is not this is not the exit. This is not the solution. But this is what they're doing actually. Instead of doing some kind of surveillance, I mean, and they need a kind of the research and some kind of work. They just limited and restrict the traffic movement, transportation system in the middle of the city. I don't know how big is it, and I should probably open the Google Maps to analyze.
Bogota, I think it's quite big. Severe pollution also might affect the Bogota because
severe
at least
pollution.
I saw that they tried to decrease the
I would say that
use of
pollution
fuel.
usually goes from the buses, from the gasoline and diesel buses, and from the diesel, transportation system. Especially if they limit it from the trucks, but buses still go in there. That means that they still make the pollution there. So they don't really, they should change all the buses for electrical one. Otherwise, I don't really.
No, we have hybrids and electrical here.
Yeah, I see Bogota right now.
Well, not too many of them. Well, the majority of those who use like 100% gasoline. They are like touristic buses that not in the city, but I don't know, to some distant districts or just traveling around the country. All right, Victoria.
Yes.
Are you ready to discuss your city? I assume it should be Manchester.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a depressing city. I've been there.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I haven't finished, but because I've read about Bogota, I thought it was mine topic. So I started to read to read that one. Yeah, and now I read that it was explosion. It was a bomb in Manchester in '96. And the city center was devastated. What else? That's all for me. A lot of words that they evacuated from.
Yeah, let's go through it together. So let's try. Let's start with bolded words. Devastated the city center. So it's what the bomb does. Evacuated the area, so moved people from one area to another.
Yeah.
Undergone some changes, pretty obvious. So, we're just going to session. Host the Commonwealth Games. It's a Commonwealth. It's a. I think it's something like Olympic, but for. Commonwealth countries like Canada, Australia. Okay. Badly neglected. I forgot the word neglected, to be honest. Заброшенный, запущенный, suffering a lack of proper care. Oh, all right. Yes, Sporting Shopping Center launched an international competition. Also understood. Launched the government. Okay.
Diverting main roads.
Diverting main roads. So they just got rid of them? No?
As I understand, they just changed the way, so they kind of I wouldn't say rotate, but they just put them along the center. Like, you know, in some cities, like, I don't know, Barcelona, for example, and for example,
redirect.
Like what is it? Las Vegas. They put the roads along the center. So they technically put it down or put it along, put it a little bit to the right or left from that way where it had been. То есть они их как бы отводят, понижая либо повышая в плоскости. So the typical example is Barcelona. What I saw, I like it. So they just put it down under the.
I didn't notice what they did because I didn't drive there.
Something the same in Boston, by the way. They also put this. They call it huge dig. It started maybe 25 years ago. They put all this, like Route 93 and Mass Pike, the Route I-90. They put under the city. With this 4 or 5 big tunnels.
Got it. Okay. I think the same is in
I don't really know. I'm just
in Istanbul. In Istanbul, they just have a road under the city, under buildings. Okay. Boost tourism. So it's just meaning that tourism grow rapidly. Key in attracting new investors. So it's a main point
Вообще у нас под бустом подразумевается, как вот, знаешь, клеммы аккумуляторные набрасываешь и как вот делают recharge, да, то есть перезагрузка такая. То есть это как вот перезагрузка, когда человек помирает, у него делают...
Let's check the context. Since the improvements, the city had attempted to boost tourism by using some of the city's historical sites for major public events and by creating the Urbis building. Yeah, I think they mean something like that. So increase rapidly, start to launch, maybe something like that. Key in attracting. So the main point that attracts new investors. Inequality also increased. So the difference between poor and rich increased. Inequality lost some of its soil. So some part of the soul, like city soul. Other argue that working stole in industry for luxury consumptions and sparkling glass buildings. The city has lost some of its soul. Yeah, I would say so. About Manchester. Okay.
The city has lost some of its soul. No.
Well, if there are bombs, I mean...
It's also increased. Looks like this,
Manchester.
the same stuff I see in Moscow.
It
lost
in Nizhny.
Some of its soul. Where's the soul?
In Nizhny is just horrible. There is such a mixture of different buildings, but the same road in the historical center, and they just keep destroying all those historical buildings instead of. Yeah, I understand that it's quite expensive to keep them fit in a good shape, but I mean it's still a lot of glass and iron instead of historical buildings. So what Manchester went through? The terrorist attack,
and then renovation.
Economical downgrade, I guess. And well, it seems so, especially near the train station. It's such a weird area. What else? Well, that's what they tried to say, to do.
So
Cartensky design by international architects rated as the world's action in the cities. Okay, let's go back to this page. What? Do you think of society? Discuss what you learn about the city. And we discussed our we discussed phrases in bold. Okay. Anything to add about Manchester?
Can you repeat the question?
Anything to add about Manchester? No, I think no.
No,
Okay.
it's hard to me to discuss the reading of new ones. I need more time to
Yeah, no
to
worries.
analyze the new words and try to put them in the right order.
No worries. Okay, so let's move on to Bilbao.
For me, what I see,
So what I
the Manchester reminds me of some of the cities in Connecticut. And actually, you know, in the United States, we have maybe 10 or 15 other Manchesters.
you know what? You know what? A lot of films are filmed in Manchester, showing New York of like 16th or well, I don't know, 1930s, 1940s. So they just close the streets and filming the movies in there because in many parts it looks like New York of 1930s.
Okay.
Cool.
Really, I can send a couple of pictures of Manchester. They filmed there a lot of like Hollywood films.
For me, Manchester is the capital of New Hampshire. I'm really going to New Hampshire like once in a week or twice in a week. I don't go to Manchester in New Hampshire, but you know that city always, you know, splits in my mind when we
I
start.
think Manchester is good for those who like Manchester United, and for others, it's just I don't. It's charming in some way because it's urban. It's more urban, and unfortunately there are not too many historical parts, and actually the northern part of England is quite depressing. So yeah. Okay, so let's move to Bilbao. So what I learned about Bilbao. There was a canonical downturn. That was also a terrorist attack in the center of the city. What else? Well, they're trying to make some improvements in the city to attract investors again, and trying to make it an IT center of Spain. So let's move to this page and go through all that words.
Bilbao.
So the gallery symbolises.
Capital of Basque region. When you first mentioned Bilbao, I didn't understand what you're talking about, but now you share the screen, I understand it somehow. Yeah, I heard about Bilbao, like a kind of a rebellion region.
Right. So we will propose change that the gallery. What gallery? So symbolizes. What gallery? Museum. Oh, it's about museum, maybe.
Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao.
Profound changes that gallery symbolize. Oh, okay. So this gallery in the museum symbolizes something.
Yes, it looks like this museum wanna just make mostly an attraction in this city. So it looks like one of the main attractions.
Mm. So it has been dominated by steel plants.
Yeah, I know that
That-
Spanish steel is one of the best in the world. It's even better than Japanese. My father was working mostly for the last 10 years only with the Spanish stainless steel. My frankly tell you, my previous car in Moscow, BMW, he made the how do you call it, muffler, just from the Spanish steel. It's and the warranty for Spanish steel usually about 90 years, 90. I mean, it's amazing. Yeah.
Impressive.
So my car will be dead in that period, but muffler will still exist.
Right. Yeah, that's quite impressive. Good. So yeah, there were a lot of plants, meaning plants, factories. Smoked, choked the city, so there was a lot of pollution. Downturn, factories, unemployment soared, meaning so it's like boosted, soared, increased really rapidly, exploded.
So it
There's
looks like
terrorism,
they killed the economy.
terrorist attack,
somehow.
discouraged inward investment. So I guess that means that some of investors who planned to give money for the city development just decided not to be involved. In a word. Toward the inside. Ingoing. Toward the inside, coming in from outside. So the manufacturers go down and people
Препятствует
abandon
притоку
the city.
инвестиций.
Да, отлично. Abandoned the city, so they just left it without. People just decided to move out from the city. Verdancy embarked on a strategy to reinvent itself. So in bank.
Do you know what does it mean to halt? To halt это как бы подвесить или это приостановить? Наверное, по логике. Какое-то немецкое слово.
To halt the decline. I think to stop. Something to stop.
Остановка, да. Остановка, полуостановка.
Останавливаться. Embarked to board the ship. Go
Embark
on
это обычно,
board
когда
the
что-то
ship.
кто-то запрыгивает на что-то. Типа как там.
Go abroad. Embarked on a strategy.
Ну, типа то ли ухватилась, то ли решила взяться.
Приступили. Отправиться в путешествие. Embarked on a journey. Embarked on a приступить к.
Вообще embark, да, это грузиться на судно.
Embarked on a strategy. This included ongoing heavy investments in training and education with the focus on computing technology. Heavy investment. Heavy metal. Hosting events and conferences, of course, it's understandable. So there is a place to do some events. So that's what they did there. Voices of opposition. That's something we don't hear in Russia. Survived the major recession, so that's economical downgrade. So, nevertheless, it's difficult to deny success. In the city returned to its previous population level and survived the major recession. so they made a lot of work.
Condemned buildings, что-то знакомое, но уже не помню.
Где это?
Condemned это которые вот-вот заселятся, нет, не заселятся. If you see embarked on the strategy, it's the up, one line up.
Embarked.
Yeah, condemned.
Condemned. I think I've also seen this word before.
Было слово буквально вот недавно совсем. Я еще спорил с кем-то насчет condemned, мне...
Unsafe, dangerous.
Осуждающий, да. Осуждать, порицать, судить, заклеймить.
Но это может быть осужденный, либо...
Но здесь это имеется немножко другое.
Ruined.
Здесь, да, это как бы...
Про building. Unsafe, dangerous.
Здесь это кое-что другое значит. Здесь это здание, которое надо вот-вот как-то переделать. Забыл, как же хотя. Здесь такая программа есть, Condemned Buildings.
Renovation.
Ну, типа того.
Okay. Alright, so...
Ну, то есть, вот как написано, it's a buildings that local governments have deemed unfit to live because they violate one or more building codes. Ну, то есть, какие-то здания, которые, видимо, не соответствуют текущим ГОСТам и СНИПам, но в которых люди живут. Они не заброшены.
Yeah, it's like renovation in Moscow. Something like this. Okay, decide what similarities there are between the three cities. They went through tough times. Yeah.
Poor management.
Different reasons.
I guess.
Huh?
Poor management, I guess.
Maybe poor management. Sometimes, well,
idiots in the government.
Terrorist attacks. Some, poor decisions from the government side. But seems like all three of them were able to
everyone won investments, right? So everyone wants to
attract new investors to their cities, to rebuild, to overcome those difficulties in some degree.
In two of them, you see, like Balboa and Manchester, they should make it more safe and eliminate the terrorist attacks somehow. I don't know.
Bogota is one. I didn't know much about Bogota, but I know it's it's quite profound, flourishing, very flourishing city right now. One of the safest place in one of the safest cities of South America.
I don't know, because somebody said that Boston also one of the best cities. Somebody says it's one of the safest cities. I wouldn't say. I know that every day they kill 2-3 people in Boston.
Oh my God.
But you will never find this information somewhere instead of the Boston Globe maybe only tells about that. Or we have K25 channel which it tells you about just what's going on in Dorchester. Dorchester is a kind of district of Boston. I know because I'm going there on the Uber and Lyft. I'm driving there usually, and I know that black Americans usually making some crimes there. Usually killing or smoking or raping or whatever, stealing. So if you are white, it's not really safe for you there. Instead, you are from Russia. Because then they see a white male, they ask, where are you from? I'm saying I'm from Russia. You are the brother. Okay. But
not so white.
Yeah, but if you tell them that you are a kind of regular American, I don't really.
At least that's what I heard about like American schools and when Russian children of like Russian immigrants went to Russian schools, some of them were called not so white because they're Russians.
Yeah, because our
They
black brothers,
they are not properly white. Not so white. But still okay. What's next? Despite which city each sentence refers to Bilbao, Bogota, or Manchester. Look back at the text if you need to. Some other cities have unsuccessfully tried to copy what it did. Can you recall what of the cities of the city was it?
what number? Sorry.
Number one, some other cities have unsuccessfully tried to copy what it did.
Tried to copy what it did. I don't really know what we did.
It's about Bilbao. Other cities trying to replicate the so-called Gagentism effect may have failed because they didn't take up the other
what is the page for?
Strands of Bilbao's regeneration project. It's 197.
Can you tell me what's the page for the Bilbao? I don't really know where to look for.
It's 197.
197, yeah.
Here.
Thanks.
Other cities trying to replicate.
I got you. Thanks.
Focus on so other cities try to copy Bilbao. Alright, next one. The government forced people to sell something. Is it Bogota?
I guess it's also about the condemned buildings, no? Because I don't really know what the government forced them to do.
Forced to sell something. Some weed on the street?
Probably, I would say that when they trying to get rid of the cars from the city, they trying to force them to sell their cars, I guess. They want to change it for like social transportation instead of their private cars. I guess maybe they're talking about this. Private transportation instead of social. Who knows? I don't really know. By the way, how often do you read something about your city? Like in the city where you're currently, when you live for the, like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 or weeks or maybe 2-3 months. Because I don't really read.
I live about a year here. Well,
I mean, maybe we
once a
usually
week.
when they just when they waste our taxes. Like if I'm paying taxes and they want to change something, like for my taxes they want to put the bicycle in the middle of the city, which I don't really want, and they didn't really ask me. That makes me a little bit crazy. I don't. Why should I pay for these bicycle pavements? I would like to make like another highway in the middle of in the city, like in the middle of the Boston. Don't
But
tell me.
other people who has bicycle, they want this road.
No, I mean they already have it. They only have 2 roads. Each road has 2 lanes. Last year there was only one lane. Each street has only one lane of the bicycle. Right now they have two everywhere. Somewhere three. How many do they want? So it looks like they want to just completely destroy the transportation. No cars.
Maybe they want everybody change their cars into bicycles.
Probably. So the buses still exist. They have.
If only it was so safe, because here, from my perspective, it's not really safe to go by bicycle, because the lane is pretty narrow, and sometimes it just finishes, like in Russia when you go by pavement, it just stops in some point, and here it's the same for bicycles. And when you just start moving the same road as others, like buses, and I don't feel that it's safe.
Who knows? At least they have hamlets.
Yeah. It's obligatory to have a hamlet.
I'm still wondering, is it obligatory or not?
It is. Here it is. So if you drive bicycle, you must have a hamlet.
Because here, people do whatever they want to do. And we have a lot of this, not only bicycle, but the scooters, which is a kind of clone, something between bicycle, scooter, and some other stuff. And we have electrical scooters, it's not a bicycle. Я не знаю, как будет табуретка по-английски, but this is kind
Stool.
so this kind of stool on the two wheels, I would say. Electrical stool on the wheels, nothing else.
All right, guys. All right. So I see it's 7:03. I should, unfortunately, I should go because I have my dance classes in 30 minutes. So I hope that I see you next week. Let's just discuss it further. I'll try to recall. I know about sports that play their role in cities redevelopment. It's Manchester. and yeah, let's continue to discuss the next questions from this page. We're moving pretty slow, but it seems like it's our temp.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
We are not in a hurry. So thank you for your time, and I hope to see you next week. I will send you a couple of pictures from Manchester that look the same as some New York City streets. And at least it was said that films were made on those streets where I took pictures.
Okay.
Thanks for coming, ladies.
Thank you.
Okay.
Have a good night.